In the world of combat, legends are born from victory, but myths are born from the impossible. For 2,457 days, one man didn't just win fights, he performed magic. He moved in a dimension others couldn't perceive, his hands at his waist, his chin exposed, inviting danger only to make it look foolish. He was Anderson the Spider Silva, but behind the highlight reel knockouts and the aura of invincibility was a story the cameras never saw. A journey from the dusty streets of Curitiba to the bright lights of global superstardom. This isn't just about a title reign, it's about the man who wove a web of brilliance and the fragile thread on which it all hung. Long before the UFC, there was a boy in Curitiba, Brazil, with modest dreams. Anderson Silva's first love wasn't fighting, but football. He dreamed of being a professional player. To help his struggling family, he worked a tedious job at a McDonald's, earning a few dollars a day. It was a future written in hardship, but a pivotal moment changed his course. After watching a Bruce Lee film, he begged his mother for taekwondo lessons. He couldn't afford the proper uniform or dobok, so he trained in shorts and a t-shirt, his determination outweighing his means. This humble beginning forged a unique fighter, one who saw combat not as brawling, but as an art form, a dance of precision and discipline. His raw talent was undeniable, but his path was not linear. A loss to Daiju Takase early in his career was a brutal lesson. It revealed a hidden crack, a mental barrier. The media in Japan wrote him off as a flashy striker with no heart. This criticism, this moment of public failure, became the fire that hardened his resolve. He learned that physical gifts weren't enough. He needed the mind of a champion to match. When he entered the UFC, the MMA world was not ready.
Top of his elbows.
Oh, good answer by Rich Franklin.
Nice knees by Anderson. Right to the middle.
Franklin, we know, is as strong as they come. He has fought it.
Body work here can pay dividends in a 5-round fight. And down on Rich Franklin's body.
He didn't just defeat champions, he broke them. Rich Franklin, a dominant champion, was dismantled with a violence and precision that was terrifying.
Seemed to be damaged.
Nose to the face.
Time again, Franklin's in trouble. High kick by Silva. Rich is Anderson Silva. Down goes Franklin. It's over.
Rich Franklin.
Anderson Silva is the new.
Silva wasn't just fighting, he was systemically dismantling the division. The stats from his reign border on fiction: 16-fight UFC win streak, 10 consecutive middleweight title defenses, unprecedented striking accuracy, and a 67% significant strike defense rate.
The choke. 20 seconds remain. Silva trying to finish it. Anderson Silva looking to choke out Henderson. Anderson Silva remains the UFC middleweight.
But numbers can't capture the aura. He cultivated a persona of unshakable calm, often walking to the octagon with a smile. The media crowned him the greatest of all time. Fans felt they were witnessing something supernatural. Opponents weren't just beaten, they were psychologically broken before the fight even began. They weren't just fighting a man, they were trying to solve a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an octagon. Rival fans could only call it luck or showboating, but deep down they feared it was genius.
I was a giant fan of Anderson's already, because I became a fan of Anderson's in Pride, but in England he became Anderson Silva. Anderson, when he went to England, there's something about leaving Japan and going to England, then he became Anderson. Marauding, attacking style, that's perfect for Anderson, because Anderson's the technician. He's gonna slide away, pop, pop, pop.
That's what he did. He basically just stepped away, punched.
Baby, look at that. Look at that jab. Look at that jab. I mean, the footwork, bro. Look how elegant.
But every web has a weakness, and his came in the form of a loudmouth wrestler from Oregon named Sonnen.
Zero apologies. And secondly, listen guys, if you're not willing to go too far, you will never go far enough in life, and I don't care. I don't promote fights, I pick fights. I'm like John Jones, I sound like Sean Combs, and I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes.
Sonnen did what no one else could. He got inside Silva's head. For 23 minutes, he exposed the hidden context, the vulnerability to relentless wrestling. The myth of invincibility was shattered.
To this fight, when you were talking about Anderson, you would always say, you know, you ain't seen nothing yet. I got a lot more on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
If you do fight him, what can we expect to hear?
Well, it'll be a verbal beat. Anderson Silva will be in tears before it's all over. You know, look, there's just a lot out there on the guy. I mean, this guy's no more real than the Loch Ness monster. And if he needs me to expose him, I will. But I'll tell you, the guys in the back know who the tough guy is. If we walk in the back dressing room and Anderson says put on hip hop and Chael walks in and says put on country, I guarantee it's going to be a hoedown. The guys are going to do what I say.
Do you feel as though you've had to sort of carry the promotion and keep people interested, especially after what Anderson did at 112?
Yeah, I mean, it's the way it should be. Nobody cares about Anderson Silva. Nobody buys his merchandise. He's the worst-selling pay-per-view draw in the history of the UFC Championship division. This dirtbag named Anderson Silva is running is done. His 15 minutes of fame are up. People tell me he's a great fighter. I say, really? When did you see him fight?
The media shifted its tone. Was the king finally crumbling? Then, in one of the most dramatic moments in sports history, with only minutes left, Silva locked in a Hail Mary triangle armbar.
A record-setting win. Triangle! Watch out! Triangle! This is trouble! He's got his legs across. That's what's... He's done it! Unbelievable!
Submission win saved his title but revealed his mortality. The end, when it came, was brutal and final. A young, undefeated Chris Weidman believed the myth was just that, a myth. He knocked out a showboating Silva.
Speed difference. Yeah. Wow, he tried a crescent kick on him. Anderson. Oh, no, he got hit. Look at the finish it. It is all over. It's the UFC.
And in the rematch, Silva's leg snapped in a freak injury. The crowd fell silent. The reign of 2,457 days was over, not with a decision, but with a sickening crack. The sentiment was no longer about his greatness, but a collective what if. So what remains of the myth? The records will eventually be broken, but Anderson Silva's true legacy is the art he brought to the violence. He inspired a generation of fighters to be creative, to be athletes, not just brawlers. In defeat, he showed profound grace, never making excuses. He evolved from a fighter into a global icon, an actor, a family man.
I am joined by the legendary Anderson Silva, who has so nicely decided to sit on this chair so we could be the same size today. You got your win in Brooklyn. How did it feel to be victorious in New York City?
So I'm so happy. I'm so happy because, first of all, New York City is my second house. I love New York. I love the people in New York. And I have a lot of fans in here. And I don't know, I'm so happy. Thank you, New York. Thank you for giving me a lot of support.
This is exactly what I wanted. I'm stood here with Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. In my mind, the two men involved in one of the biggest rivalries, if not the biggest rivalry in mixed martial arts. Now, when you look at Chael, you look back at those fights, how important was he for you? And when you see Chael in person, do you feel great? How do you feel when you see Chael?
I feel so happy, because Chael and I create something for the new generation, and everybody can talking about fight, everybody can talking about everything inside UFC, but everybody go remember the day with Chael and I fight in UFC. That's build the more valor for the brand, and the people don't realize that because Chael is a wrestler and working hard in the school for many, many years. And imagine how many kids doing something better than school because Chael do your best, Yeah. It's not, it's true.
Nice.
That's true.
I think he said a lot of nice things about you today.
He did. That's true. And I help a lot of kids in Brazil and the rest of the world when I fight Chael. And people respect us because I believe in Chael and I doing something very special for the world. It's not only for United States or for Brazil, but for the world,
The fan sentiment today is one of reverence. They don't just remember the wins, they remember the moments of awe. The media that once questioned him now unequivocally places him in the GOAT conversation. His story is the ultimate lesson in mastery and mortality. He showed us a peak so high it seemed touched by the divine. And in his fall, he reminded us that even the greatest are human. His legacy is a permanent question mark in MMA history. Did we ever truly see his limits, or were we only ever granted a glimpse of his genius?
He's still going.
I don't know. For me, he's the number one. Number two. Wow, that one is a tough question, actually. Maybe Anderson Silva.
He was goated back in the day.
I don't want to leave anyone outside of that, because I love many of them and I respect, and then they inspire me in different moments of my career.
And then take me back to your early days in Brazil, where you first started jiu-jitsu, but it wasn't formal. It was informally with kids in the neighborhood because you couldn't afford to do formal lessons. Take me back to the time.
I started in a program in the school, in a capoeira. My stepdad and my stepmom put him in a capoeira, and I started studying capoeira in the school. My brother invited me to start training Muay Thai. I started my career in capoeira and training Muay Thai and Taekwondo. And one day I just looking Royce Gracie fighting in MMA. I say, oh my God, one day I go fight this sport. And everything's happened, and I doing the tryout for play soccer, and there's no work. And that's very interesting because the same place have the tryout. I come a little late because I take the bus, and the bus is putting me late there. And at the same place is the team, the boxing team's there. And the coach just asked me, so you training? I said, yeah, I training, but I never trained in boxing in my life. And the coach said, okay, so here's your gloves and your stuffs. Come on, let's go training.
Boxing, just straight boxing.
Yeah, and I called my dad and said, Dad, I go training boxing. And my dad said, wait a minute, you don't go there to doing the tryout for the play soccer? Yeah, but something happened here.
Something happened.
And I start training boxing.
Yeah.
And I doing my first boxing, amateur boxing there.
What age was that?
Oh, 17.
But at this point, that's like already 3 or 4 disciplines that you're already working on.
Yeah, I mean, I like to learn.
Okay.
Anderson Silva's story is a blueprint for artistic expression in the midst of chaos, a blueprint for rising from nothing to everything, and a blueprint for handling the end of an era with the same grace with which you ruled it. He was and will always be the Spider. Where does Anderson Silva rank in your golden era? Did you witness his reign, or has his story inspired you? Share your favorite Spider moment in the comments. For more documentaries celebrating the greatest men in sports, like and subscribe to Celebrate Men.